I've let it be known here on the podcast radio show that I'm a very big fan of Vivek Ramaswamy. And, he might be my leading guy right now at this point in time. Again, brilliant man, very well accomplished. And again, I like the fact that he loves to engage people. He doesn't try to drag people down, doesn't like to call people names. He likes to have conversations. He likes to be Socratic in the way that he talks with people. And he gave a master's class at the Iowa State Fair. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to recommend you actually go online and have a listen to this. It's all over the internet. He had an exchange with a self-described pansexual activists who confronted him on LGBTQ issues. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't pay attention. Again, I don't care, but I didn't even really know what a pansexual was. I guess I learned that a pansexual is attracted to all the alphabet. Let's just leave it at that. The activist started off, asked his opinions on the LGBTQ plus community. And Ramaswamy responded. He said, well, I don't think it's one community. Really? The activist reacted. Yeah, how could it be? Just mash together an alphabet soup. Trans is fundamentally in tension with gay, if you ask me, but what's your opinion? I personally am pansexual, the activist responded, referring to the sexual orientation that is attraction to all sexes and gender identities. Anyway, the activist then asked what his views were on same-sex couples. I don't have a negative view of same-sex couples, but I do have a negative view of a tyranny of the minority. So I think in the name of protecting against the tyranny of the majority, and there are times in this country's history where we've had a tyranny of the majority, we have now, in the name of protecting against tyranny of the majority, created a new tyranny of the minority. And I think that's wrong. I don't think that somebody who's religious should be forced to officiate a wedding that they disagree with. I don't think somebody who is a woman who's worked really hard for her achievements should be forced to compete against a biological man in a swim competition. I don't think somebody who's a woman that respects her bodily autonomy and dignity should be forced to change clothes in a locker room with a man. That's not freedom. That's oppression. Any problem with any of this? Making complete sense to me. And so I believe, he goes on, that we live in a country where free adults should be free to dress how they want, behave how they want, and that's fine. But you don't oppress, and you don't become oppressive by foisting that on others. And that especially includes kids, because kids aren't the same as adults. And so I think adults are free to make whatever choices they want, but do not foist that ideology onto children before children are in a position as adults to make decisions for themselves. And so I think a lot of the frustration in the country, and I'm being really honest, that I also share, comes from that new culture of oppression. We're saying that those things can actually get somebody punished. And in my case, it's part of why it's my responsibility to say them. And I respect that you have a different opinion, and that's okay. Part of what makes our country great is that you and I can be civil and have this conversation, and that we live in a country that still gives us, each of us, the right to speak to a presidential candidate and back and still say that we pledge allegiance to the same nation. So I think that's the beauty of our country, and that's my honest opinion. And then the activist actually finished the exchange, thanked Ramaswamy, who thanked her for her civility as well. This is how it's supposed to be. And again, Vivek has that ability. He's that bright. He's that smart. Ted Cruz also had that ability as well. He's extraordinarily obviously one of the smartest guys in the United States Senate, except he had a difficult time, having it come off with likability. I remember Ted Cruz completely, having this conversation with an ethanol farmer and eventually got the ethanol farmer to agree with him at the end that the whole ethanol stuff was absolute nonsense. But anyway, again, people, I hope at this point in time, you haven't made up your mind. Okay. I hope you're listening to what these candidates are saying. We need to start making some better choices. And it's a pretty good choice, if you ask me. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.